Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the February the 1st of 2021 work session. My brother's birthday today, so I better remember that. So, anyways, we have no resolution. Do we have any public comment?
We do not.
All right, thank you. We have no resolutions and orders. Under contracts, agreements, and grants, we'll approve the lease for 2021 Chevrolet Traverse with the VIN number listed there. I'm not going to read all that. At the sheriff's office for an annual rent of $1. With first number 1 and number 2 will be the same. If don't want to have any problem with that, we'll just take that up in one motion in the commission meeting because it's only difference in either one of them would be the VIN number. So, any discussion with either one of those vehicles? All right, no discussion with that. Well, budget revisions, we have none. We have no emergency purchases, no board appointments, award of bids, which will be to gasoline and diesel, which W.H. Thomas Oil Company for 30-cent margin over rack. Any discussion with that? And that'll be from February the 2nd of 21 to February the 1st of 22. Any discussion with that gas bid? All righty. No discussion with the gas bid. We'll move on to personnel action. First on here will be to hire Carson Green as a tax collection clerk in the Revenue Commission office. Do we have any discussion with her? All right, no discussion with her. Second on, moving on here, we'll hire John Kaufman as Equipment Operator 3 in District 2 pending a drug screening. Do we have any discussion with him? All right, no discussion with him. Number 3, I'll discuss this a little bit. Which would be to appoint Amanda Morgan as interim director for the community corrections for a period of 3 months or until further notice at the Limestone County Community Corrections. Said term will begin February the 1st of 21. The deal with this is Tony Gravett retired on us at the end of this month, and she has been doing a lot of the work, but, you know, of course, with the judicial system being down and funding being down, we're just going to let her run interim for a few months to make sure to see how this court system stuff fires back off. So, because there's no really a money swap for her to get the position or anything. It's just we're going to take applications in about 3 months. So, that's what that's about. Any discussion with that? All right, no discussion with that. The fourth thing on here will be to amend the job description for a deputy at the Limestone County Sheriff's Office. Request to change the age requirement from 21 to the years of age 19, and Chief may enlighten me on this, but the state law says that you can go to the academy at 19, but our job description said 21, and we have some people that work in the deputies and places like that that would like to further their career and move up a little bit, so this way we can take in-house people that's working in there and send them to the academy if they want to go. Is that right? The whole correctly, Fred? Okay. So that was just to clear our job description up to match the certification there. All righty. Any discussion with that? All right. No discussion with that, gentlemen. The fifth thing on the agenda will be to transfer Mike Bloodworth from extradition officer to deputy sheriff. Any discussion with him? All right. Number 6 will be to transfer Stephen Young from communication supervisor to extradition officer. Any discussion with that? All righty. Then the next thing on the agenda will be added. It's not on your agenda here, but we didn't get it printed on there in time. Joseph has got a transfer in his office at the License Commission office, which will be transfer Melissa McLaughlin from title clerk to tag clerk in the commission office, in the License Commission. Any discussion with her? You have anything with that, Joseph? Yeah, that's what I thought that's what I said. Yeah, title clerk to tag clerk. Well, see, that's not all my fault. He printed the wrong thing and had to reprint it here. So, anyways, so that'll be on the agenda for 10 o'clock. And then another little thing I just want to kind of mention. We have kind of talked with each one of y'all individually, and this is just to put it out here. I'm going to bring together a plan for the Cal Fort and bringing it and the maintenance department together for the next commission meeting. If anybody has any question with that, y'all can talk to me one-on-one later. But I'm going to try to get something together for the next commission meeting. So I just wanted to let that be known. All righty, then number 7 on here will be to amend the staffing plan to change the position of communications grade 11 to position of a deputy sheriff, grade 9. Any discussion with that? All righty. No discussion with that. We have 9 merit increases listed here below. Anybody have any discussion with any of the 9? All right, no discussion with none of those. We'll move on to the engineer's report. Mr. Massey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one subdivision for your consideration today. We have Briarwood Crossing Addition 2. This is a replat of Lot 27, so it's a minor subdivision, so it'll be for preliminary and final. It's affecting 2 lots in District 2. It's at, the address is at 27942 Mulholland Lane. So, like I said, that's the only thing we have as far as subdivisions go. We did talk about the last time we met together, the herbicide spraying. IVM Solutions did send me 2 contract options. I sent them to you last week. It was after the agenda had already been printed, so just wanted an opportunity to discuss and possibly add to the agenda. Depending on what you want, how you want to proceed. One contract option is what we have been doing for the last probably 5 years, which IVM Solutions would consult with us. They'd train personnel. They would provide mix designs and coordination as far as the spray cycle. The other option would be for them to take over a portion of actual roadside spray, and they'd provide a licensed operator, licensed herbicide applicator, and equipment to do the work, and they would do that for $40 per center line mile. And so those are the 2 options, and then we have the ability within that contract to name how many miles they spray and how many miles we spray. So I'd like to kind of keep it they could spray 100% of it, but I would like to kind of keep us involved in the spray program. My proposal would be we would keep about 160 miles of application, which would give us the ability to keep a truck in good working order, keep personnel trained to do the work, so that if anything comes up between cycles, we have somebody that we can send out to do the work, that kind of thing. So like I said, that's kind of my proposal if you decide to go that route. For me, it's not, I don't have a preference either way. We'll figure out how to make it work either way. But I know that last year we had an issue with our spray program getting it done in the right cycles just because of the amount of paving that we have had going on, the several different things. And so this would be an option to be able to bring a consultant on board to take care of that, and the cost would be about equivalent to hiring one person to put in our department. But I think, as I described in the email to you, even hiring one person and putting them in our department doesn't really alleviate the pressure that's put on the paving crew and on the herbicide operators for that period of time that application has become a priority. So like I said, I just wanted to kind of lay everything out there and give y'all an opportunity to discuss and just let us know how to proceed. Either way, we do, if we want to keep them as a consultant, even for the $8,000 a year for them to manage training and design, we do have to get that contract in place too. So either way, I'd like to ask one of these contracts be put on the agenda for consideration.
So we need to vote on it today then?
If
I was wondering what our time frame was.
Yeah, if possible.
Me personally, this is preference. I think, we've been stressed so much with the Rebuild Alabama stuff coming on board that, it does take a toll on our paving crew to get out and drop paving to go spray. So I'm going to leave that up to y'all, gentlemen. Which way y'all want to go?
I ain't got a problem. Favor of the people.
Yes, that's why I'm going to leave it up to y'all. Y'all go ahead.
I generally favor the people that are specialists in doing it, let them doing it. For us to take a paving crew and make professional spray guys out of them really you can do it, but they're probably not gonna do it as efficient. And calibrating and mixing the chemicals, you know, I don't know how well we would do that as compared to the people that do it for a living. So I generally like for the people to do it best to do it.
Okay.
About how many miles have you got figured for them to cover?
About 700 to
760.
Or, we're about let's see, we're about 160, and I think they're about 710. So we spray regularly about 870 miles is what we spray. Now, we're not spraying in subdivisions, we're not doing that, but so when you figure what we do spray, it's about 870 miles. What I did in trying to come up with the area that we would spray, it'd be the areas that harder for a truck to get in and out of, where you got to go in and turn around. It's a dead end road. It's or an area where it wouldn't be effective really to pay them to spray, where there's several subdivisions or several lots of houses, and then there may be down that stretch of road, there may be 200 yards that we spray adjacent to a pasture or something. But those, it doesn't make sense to spray for them to spray that mile of road when it doesn't, when we're not really getting anything out of it. So that was kind of my methodology for what I chose, and tried to keep them close together so that we could use a tank, and then we could go back and refill, and then move to another area. So, like I said, I think what we can complete that 160 miles in about a week, and so so that would put us during that 1 week during the spray season. It would put us to where maybe we go do patching or something like that, and not concentrate as much on mainline paving, which is why we need the personnel is in mainline paving. So instead of us just shutting the paving crew down for 3 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on if that third cycle becomes necessary, it'd just be 1 or 2 weeks, and so we could manage patching and that type thing.
One question before we go any further. I guess I'll go from clean cut Mark to bearded Mark back there. Mr. Macklin, is there anything you've seen on the contract anywhere that would, any?
Well, there's some language that appears that is routinely of concern when it gets into indemnification, particularly some language that they add in. And it's not unusual to see indemnification for any damages, but going further, that they would not only be indemnified, but the county would have to provide them a defense. So that's one of the things that I would suggest. Another thing, if you're tending to go the route of, and what is acted on is for them to handle all of the spraying. As I read it, they propose that the county would have the right to terminate, which in 30 days, which would be good, but that they would get paid for the balance of the contract. Of course, if they're not giving any more miles to spray, if that's how it's going to work, then it may be neither here nor there, because if they don't spray, they don't get paid. But if there was some reason for a termination for cause, such as that there was an issue with their application or anything else that you wanted to terminate and handle the rest of the year yourself or with somebody else, my suggestion would be to go back, like I think the language previously read, or at least does in just the consulting, where they only get paid for the day of termination. If there's a for cause termination, again, it's not unusual to see a contractual provision that if you want to terminate it for convenience, then they can pay the balance of the contract. So that said, I think it could be taken up today because time is a bit of the essence. It could be taken up today, whichever route y'all go, subject to attorney approval, and that will allow me to, that sets the financial boundaries of how much the county might be obligated to spend, and would allow me to work with Mark and the chairman on any suggestions that could be submitted back to them.
Well, okay, do y'all want to put, I'll call it Exhibit A, that'd be, because you got them stapled together, that's where they would do the sprayings, what I'm on, we will take y'all want to take the first contract and put on there pending county attorney approval and vote on that today. Is that what y'all fine with that?
So,
I'm
so then, so IVM, yeah, if we could just add that in contracts, agreements, and grants, for IVM Solutions for their roadside application contract,
Okay.
them to provide roadside application,
Pending county attorney.
pending county attorney approval.
All right.
Okay.
That'll work.
That's all I had, was just wanting to discuss that and try to get that added if possible.
Well, before we move on any further, anybody else got any more discussion with it?
I believe he answered all the questions.
All righty. Well, we'll get that added to the agenda between now and meeting time. All righty. Anything else, Mark?
That's it.
Anybody have anything for Mark?
Did you happen to find any more trailers? I had that.
We are actually gonna look at one, today, where the weather's not permitting, so, Shane is gonna go take a look at one.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half away, so he's gonna ride down there and take a look at, they've got 3 of them.
Okay.
So we are, they're around $35,000 each, so, so we're gonna go take a look at them and see if they will do what we need them to do. They're non-ground bearing, detachable, trailers. And so, I think they would be a good option, but he's gonna go look at them from the perspective of trying to load, like our excavators and such, so, like I said, we're all gonna look at them today, so
Okay.
might have something on the next agenda.
Okay.
But I don't have anything today.
All right. Anything else? If not, we'll move on to other business here. We have amend the previous adopted county commission schedule that we approved. What this is about is our rules and procedure says that the holiday, it doesn't say the following holiday. So we're just cleaning up the language and adding, if a holiday falls on Monday, it's already set in preference that our meeting will be the following Tuesday. That's all. It just didn't say the following day. It just says that it will be. So that was just something we're clearing up there. Any more discussion with that? All right. And then the next thing on here will be some inventory changes, and I'm not going to read all these. Y'all see them listed below. It's just mostly communication equipment stuff. Just one department to the other. Any discussion with any item you see listed there? All right, no discussion with any of that. Inventory changes, Nor on the next page here. You got the same thing. All right, continued on this next page, and then we move,
Chairman,
yes.
might want to note that Daryl needs to sell that truck.
Yeah, I am. I've got it here next.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it under this last thing on here. And then to be the next thing, be to remove the following from inventory from the EMA and the archives, some pieces. And then note on the record here that Commissioner Salmon has a truck that is going to be added on the agenda, an international 2000 model 400 that we're going to sell on Gov Deals. It didn't get added on the agenda in time, but that'll be on the commission meeting too. Anybody else have anything they want to add to Gov Deals or while we're on the Gov Deals deal? All righty. So that being said, we'll move on to we have no scheduled public hearings. Report of officers, Commissioner Salmon.
I don't have anything this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Barksdale.
I don't have anything.
Thank you, Commissioner Mark. Let the record be known, Commissioner Black is absent today, and Commissioner Townsend.
I don't have anything.
And I'll just hold mine, and we'll recess until 10 a.m. Thank everybody for attending.